Hey there, UK users. I have a very special knife on the table here today. This is a Smedley Co Raven friction folder, or it used to be CSR, but that's now Smedley Co, in case you're wondering. I got this in a trade with Mr. Anthony Dyer for my Farah. These were, at least in 2017, about £140. I've no idea on the price now. Obviously inflation and all that, and I don't think he makes this specific one. It's last I checked on his Instagram, which will be in the description by the way if you want to go and have a look for yourself, he makes one with like blue streaks in it, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. If I didn't already have this, I would have probably bought that, but you know, I've already got one now. So this is obviously made in England, and you can, like I said, if you want to buy these, you buy these off his by messaging, giving a direct message on Instagram or something. I don't believe he's got a website, but anyone that knows, feel free to comment it, and I'll pin your comment if you've got anywhere else to buy his knives from. So this didn't come in a box or anything. It came with this slip, however, which used to have a bit of leather here, but I stole that for my Benchmade proper. However, I haven't really used this because it's... Obviously this is meant for putting in your pocket, and then you just put this in here. And I don't like having knives in my pocket. I usually have them either as if they're in my pocket, I want them in a clip, really, like a clip on it. So usually I'll forego this, and I have actually been carrying this in this thing here, which is just a little pouch I got with my where is it? Here we go. This little through night TC15 flashlight here, which was recommended to me by EDC Life, but it sort of happens to fit that perfectly. So, and it's black, so I've been carrying it like that, and that's fantastic. It also comes with this card here, which is on the screen now. I didn't get mine because Anthony just forgot to send it. I was like, don't worry about it. It's only a card, doesn't matter. But you'll get, if you buy yours from Smedley, you'll get one of those with it, just as a, you know, birth certificate, that kind of thing. Action on this. Oh yeah. It's actually lovely. And this is one of the few times I can sort of understand Teflon washers. Because this does have Teflon washers, but it's got an adjustable pivot, and then it's pinned everywhere else. And that makes sense to me because these are self-lubricating, so it means you can adjust the tension, you can adjust the action and the friction if you want, but you're not taking the full knife apart. That didn't stop me dyeing this, by the way. Oh yeah, I should mention that now. Yeah, this used to be orange. If you go and have a look at my first impressions, that's the colour it came to me in, and that is extremely bright orange. I like to be a little bit low-key with my knives. Everyone knows I carry them at work, but just in case, you know, I don't need other people that aren't like staff members that I don't see that often, or I don't know, a customer comes into the wrong area or something. I want it to be at least a little bit subtle, so I can just, you know, have that in my hand. You can't really see. If it's bright orange, it's gonna just draw the eye to it immediately. So just muted colours for me, really. You know, like red is fine, dark red, just mute colours. So I've changed this to black because it's the easiest one to change a colour to, because obviously it's the darkest colour. I didn't record the video of this. I have recorded a video of me dyeing this knife. If you want to see, it's the same process. If you want to see how I did that, this one was just much easier. I just had to take the blade out, the Teflon washers off, and then just dip this into the grit dye formula. But there, yeah, and it's come up fantastic. Just have a look at that. No orange left on that. It looks like it was black G10 to start with. I'm really thoroughly happy with that. This used to be orange scales and then a black G10 spacer. Now it's just all black, and I'm ultra happy with that. Look at it. No orange whatsoever. So yeah, there you go, there's that. Like I said, the action on this is phenomenal. I'm really happy with it. It's it's just really smooth, really ultra smooth. Look at it. Just, this is one of those ones where there's no hang-ups anywhere in it. It's just smooth open and smooth close. And you can adjust that however you want. Obviously with the adjustable, I think that's a T8, is it? Oh no, that's much bigger than T8. It's a T15. T15 pivot there. And that's it. There's no other hardware you can take apart. The rest is all pinned. So like I said, this is G10 scales, which they're really lovely. This feels almost like a fixed blade in the hand. It's, you know, you can really get a solid, absolutely solid grip on that, much more than any other pocket knife I own. Really, really comfortably, like your first finger just fits into there and the rest just trail on there. And you can really go to town with this, you know, as long as you're not one of those people that's scared of using a friction folder or feel like they're unsafe. I mean, look, if you've got it in this grip, this part of your hand stops the blade from coming up, so you're really safe with this. Look at that. It actually has to, that bit there, that tail, has to break through your hand to close. Look. Look at that. It's just solid. This is really, really solid, dependable. I like that. Also, if you want to use it more traditionally, you sort of have to like put your finger here, because if you put it here, you're just going to start closing the blade. So you sort of have to, you know, just hold your thumb like that. But I found that completely fine. It's sort of like almost like a faux Scandi grind. There is a secondary, or I guess a tertiary bevel on that one. So it's not just a straight Scandi from there, although you could certainly do that if you want. But yeah, you're not going to be going crazy with that. There's no clip on this. Like I said, it's just you're supposed to put it in a sheath or something like that. And the jimping on this, it's like I said, you'd be holding it like this if you're doing some real hard work. And if you really need to push down, there you go. The problem is that does come at the cost of that ultra strong, like, you know, really, really grippy bit there. So as soon as you lift your thumb up, that's it, it can just close. That said, if it does close on you, don't worry too much, because it's designed so that this flat bit here will interact with your hand well before any of that blade does. And then that tiny bit there might touch this bit, but you know, you're going to be stopping that long before that happens, really. Look at that. So all in all, this is a really well, ergonomically at least, is really well thought out design. I would put this sort of, if it just how sort of well it fits into your hand, and like something like this, you know, where you really can, like, it really just fits in there nice and snug, and you really get a good solid grip because of how long this like tang, I guess, is the friction folder. You know, it comes almost halfway down to where that is. Like, I mean, look at that whole gap there. Look how much that covers, and then it's not even that offensive when it's sticking out. It's only a tiny little bit like that. And that's due to his design with the end here being an angle. D2 blade steel, all you've got on there is that CSR, and that's it, nothing else. It's a nice etch, like an acid etch at the top here, and then it's all silver on the grind. I quite like that. Edge retention on this, I'm pretty sure it's pretty damn good, you know. So let's have a look. I mean, good God, man. Choil, you do get yourself a lovely big sharpening choil there that will last for ages. Again, another great, it's not like this teeny tiny little thing here that will last like three or four sharpens or anything. This is a good proper size sharpening choil that's going to last you a long time. Centering on this, let's have a look. Yeah, maybe a little bit this side, but yeah, it's definitely a little tiny bit that side, but I'm sure I can, again, I'm sure that's mainly me. Okay, so there we go. A bit more central there. I think, oh, come on, focus. Yeah, a bit more central there, I think you'd agree. exactly the same, nice, smooth, strong action. And just to highlight, in case anyone was wondering about these. Oh, whoops. Not budged. Honestly, I can really go crazy with this thing. Really try and like flick it out, not an inch. It's a different story if you have it open, like, because obviously you've got more weight out front. But while it's in the closed position, because all the weight's fairly central. Oh, whoops. You honestly, you really cannot get that to come out of that. And yet, when you want it to, nice and easy and fairly smooth. Oh, very smooth, in fact. So, is there any blade play? No, nothing. Look at that. Not even a tiny little bit. This is absolutely solid, this thing. Let's do a size comparison for you all. There's a Benchmade 940. There is a Mini Griptilian. And there is a Paramilitary 2. And look, like just looking at the size of that handle, it's a lot more in line with these American style lock knives than it is with our UK PKs and Victorinox Pioneers, which is something at least a couple of people have mentioned. Like, our knives are always so small, they don't fill their hand. Like, people with larger hands aren't well catered to in the UK knife community. I'll put some stats up on screen there for you if I've remembered. Obviously, I'll have to fill them out myself again instead of just stealing them. The price on this, £140 for a handmade or machine, whatever, however Smedley does it, but you know, custom. Good God, that's a good price. And this, you know, it's not like this is shite quality or anything like that. There's no issues. There's one thing, one tiny little thing. Can you see there where the grind's a little bit different? That's it. That is the one imperfection on this whole knife. Everything else is beautiful. Look at it. Look at how that matches. Stunning. I really like the acid etch sort of finish on the top half of this, and then he goes for the satin finish on the actual blade there. I think that's really nice. Makes it less stand out as well, so it suits me down to the ground. This bit here for your finger is just, honestly, that makes the whole knife. If it just had just one flat bit here, I mean, it'd still feel good, but that really lends to the, it fills me with confidence. I know this ain't going anywhere. This, you know, doesn't matter how far I press it down as well, that's as much as it's going. And you can just pull it back. You know, this is almost about as hard use as a UK legal gets, in my opinion. You know, my limited opinion. Obviously, I haven't hard used this because I work in a, you know, restaurant, so I'm not really cutting down trees or anything crazy or building shelters. But this one's good. I can only recommend it. Like I said, there's. I mean, I didn't even deal with Smedley, so I've no idea how he's to deal with personally. As I said, I got this in a trade, so his warranty is, according to the little card, guaranteed for the life as long as you're not being an idiot about it. Super respect that. Sweet. Thank you very much. Cheers.